Hello and thanks for clicking on this video. I have way too much to talk about. Way too much. It has been way too long since I got to talk about anything. Beneath the Undertow. This is a drama. Oh shoot, I forgot. The only thing that I ended up writing down was darn waited too long. There was so much that was so good, but details and whatever the things I did not like, because I know I had issues with a few things, they did such a good job though. Beneath the Undertow, it did an unexpectedly good job. I don't know what it is about this drama. They did an unexpectedly good job with this drama. Beneath the Undertow, I rated it really high on my list. And, okay, so the old guy, I didn't realize that he's actually the same one that played in 1,000 Years of Dust, I think it's called. In 1,000 Years of Dust, I ended up with many issues on that one. I think I mentioned it on the channel. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I mentioned 1,000 Years of Dust somewhere on my channel. But I had major issues with that one because they made it half the drama's in the past and half the drama's in the present, and unfortunately they follow basically exactly the same trajectory. They went after the same people in the same order now as they did back then. I'm like, are you kidding me? We're just repeating the story all over again, except back then they sounded like competent people that were actually following clues and getting people and going whatever. Now they sound like a bunch of idiots because everything they realize or everything that they go over is the exact same things that they already did in the past. So we're not learning anything new. We're not getting anything new out of this. It's all rehash of what they already did in the past. It ended up being extremely disappointing, took too long, and it was getting increasingly irritating all the way through it. And I'm not sure if I really liked that older guy in 1,000 Years for Dust, 1,000 Years of Dust, or whatever it's called. I don't remember particularly liking him. But in Beneath the Undertow, even though I think I need pictures to kind of remind me of stuff. Who is it? Oh, right. Okay. So the older guy, even though his character is actually kind of similar in one sense, in Beneath the Undertow, I really liked him. And I think one of the fascinating things, too, about it was there was something that was unique and different about him, something consistent and unique and different, and you kind of knew it right from the start, that there was something about him. But, so often in dramas and whatnot, if they bring any kind of mental health issue things into it, they either are inconsistent and weird about it, or they make a big deal about it because they call it out, but they call it out in the most stereotypical, stupid ways. Characters that have ADHD aren't just like regular old characters. They're the person that has to, every second scene you see them in, has to mention the fact that they have ADHD. Oh, don't blame me, it's the ADHD. Oh, squirrel, ha ha ha, because I have ADHD. Or whatever. It's like, would you stop it? Beneath the Undertow, there's a scene way, way into the drama. I can't remember where, but it's quite a ways later, where he offhandedly mentions what he thinks might be involved and why he's like this, and then keeps on moving. He doesn't use it as an excuse. He doesn't use it as whatever. It's just like an offhanded mention in a real way setting, in a real way of conversation. It's brought up in a realistic way for a realistic reason, and it's done so good. And I'm not going to say what it is, because when you're watching the drama, it takes them forever before they even mention it. So I'm like, why did you mention it all the way over there? There's got to be a reason, okay? People that are watching this drama, you figure it out. Either figure it out or wait until he says it and then be like, light bulb, this makes sense. Because as much as I know about that mental illness, that actually does make sense. I think it does make sense. I'm still learning about it. So I could be wrong, but I think it makes sense. So I really liked that the way that they did that. And then there's the younger guy who I watched Evil Minds 1 and 2 that were super well done from what I remember. I keep wanting to rewatch those ones. He's the main one in that one, and I think I've seen him in something else too. But, okay, so Beneath the Undertow is a really good drama that is worth watching, and if you want, a really good drama, you should go and watch that one. It is, by the way, there's two different, I've said this before, there's two different types of detective dramas, and both drive me insane because regularly so many people they were doing it right, and then they went so wrong, and this is going to come back because there's another one on this list that is also, there's the completely episodic. There's two other dramas that are going to play into this. One of them is an example of really bad, and one of them is an example of really good. We'll get to it, and you'll see where it is. Whether it's in the same video or not. We'll see. Anyway, I'm rambling. Stop rambling. There's too much to say. Beneath the Undertow, there's two different types of detective stories. There's ones where there's constant separate cases. They're just constantly episodic, where every case covers, like, whether it's one episode or 2 episodes. I don't know how often you end up being 3 episodes. Usually episodic dramas and detective stories and whatnot, they wrap themselves up in 1 or 2 episodes, or maybe 1.5 episodes, within 2 episodes. Even stuff like Under the Skin, constantly a new case. Every new case is completely episodic. The thing with those things is, Coroner's Diary was another one where it's very episodic, where they're constantly dealing with different cases. The thing is, it's not just detective stories. Either way, the thing is, it's very episodic. And the thing is, you can do that and have them completely disconnected and don't really have anything to do with each other. But there comes a certain point, there has to be a through line where this is also what's going on. And if there isn't a through line, something that's nice and strong, and I'll get back to a really good example of very episodic, but at the same time, it was very well tied together. I'll get back to it. There's a super epic, awesome drama. I am shocked by how good it was that I'll get back to. Beneath the Undertow is the opposite. The other kind of detective one is the one where it's the same case that they are working on throughout the entire drama. This is also, actually, I didn't entirely realize how detrimentally wrong so many stories get this, and this is why they drive me nuts. And this, I'll get back to another example that's done really badly. Too many dramas. It has to do with how long the story is, but it's like, are you dragging this case out in a realistic way that's doing a really good job? Or are you just plain dragging this out and it should have wrapped up ages ago and you used the most ridiculous things to stop it from wrapping up? Which was it? I'll get back to that in a minute because I don't remember what it is, but Beneath the Undertow falls into the second category. It is the same case happening throughout the entire drama, and this drama is 19 episodes long. Usually, I hate it when they're just needlessly dragging things out. When you're like baiting me with this thing that you're super curious about or is super important or super whatever. You're like, I'm sitting on the edge of my chair going, would you just give me the answer to this? Come on, you need to give me the answer to this. You're driving me insane. I can't take this. And when I mentioned this, my brother, that's currently living in the same house as me, actually agreed with me on that point. And I told him Beneath the Undertow actually, shockingly, did not do that. Beneath the Undertow is a really good example of a drama that teased you with these questions and with this case that was constant throughout the entire thing, but they did it in a really good way. I don't even know what it is. Like, I didn't even necessarily realize. I watched the whole thing and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, they kept the same case. Well, actually, there's 2 cases going on in this drama, and they keep, like, they're intersected, but they're not. And, like, should they form a single team and work on this at once, or should they not? Because it's kind of, it's the same case, but it's not the same case. And is it the same case or is it not the same case? And they're going like this throughout the entire thing. The one thing that slightly annoyed me is the whole, are these 2 related or not? Okay, I have to spoil the ending if I'm going to talk about that. So a little bit of a spoiler at the ending is the thing where I'm getting a little bit tired of them choosing the not related. I've seen this is, I was trying to remember. It seems like this is the 3rd or 4th drama that I've seen very recently. And they all chose the not related because they wanted them to continue working together. They decided that being partners and working together is the better option. Therefore, they decided, no, they're not related. I'm not entirely satisfied. Although at the same time, even that one, they did wrap it up well enough. Okay, sorry. Bird clock interrupted and whatnot. I was rambling a little bit. Yeah, so Beneath the Undertow is a super well done drama. If you like crime and law and even family ties and relationships and a dose of mental health and all the rest of that kind of stuff, this is a really well done one. I don't even entirely know why. Like, I took too long to write it down in my book. I literally was like, crap. See, I don't even have pictures printed out for it yet. Okay. Okay. The next one on the list. Right. It's not in here because I didn't finish it. I don't really want to talk about this one yet and can't really talk about it yet. The Wanted Detective. So, here's the goodbye and every single thing. My hair's different than what you saw before because I got interrupted and too hot, so I have to put my hair up. Thank you for watching this video, whichever one it is, because this is saying goodbye for all of them. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know what your thoughts were if you saw the drama that I talked about. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Like the video if you found it entertaining or interesting or whatever. Thanks for watching. Bye.